Hey, everybody. I'm Brenden.
Hey, I'm Marc.
And I am John.
It's John.
This is my very first podcast. I've never listened to one or been on one before.
You've never listened? He strikes me as like a Joe Rogan guy.
Oh, God.
Who's Joe Rogan?
Well, as you guys know, this is a topical podcast. We do all about current events here. This week, pretty big in the news. Trudeau from Canada is worried that, the U.S. annexing Canada is pretty real. So we're going to talk about that. First things first, though, a little bit of a check-in. How's everybody doing today?
Today has been a fantastic day. As Saturdays tend to be, I spend a lot of time with my little one, Lowen Quackenbush. I love you, buddy. And it's always a good start to the day. And, now I'm spending time with two of my favorite people in the whole world. So how much better can life get?
Suck up.
How's that rash that you were telling me about?
Cleared up, 100%.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I mean, there's some scarring, but
That's expected.
Got to use the topical cream, too.
Jesus Christ. All right, that was pretty, that's pretty wild. All right, yeah. So, John, you have some stuff written down.
That's if we don't get, anything interesting to talk about. I just have a series of questions maybe to spark the conversation.
Obviously, we have a big thing to talk about.
Big topic, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's not get away from the news here.
Yeah, but, before we talk about it, I've always wanted to ask the two of you, and I don't know why I never have. I just kind of want to know for the record. Brenden, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Well, there's a couple. I would say, besides fucking up high fives on purpose, that one really gets me.
What kind of maniac would do that?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
What a monster.
Right. I hate it. I cannot stand it. Oh, geez. That's probably one of the biggest ones is that and just poor driving, I think. Or driving etiquette, I think, more than anything.
So if somebody's going 5 miles under the speed limit?
How about the lack of a thank you wave? You let somebody through and there's no thank you wave.
Do you find that no matter what happened immediately before that, if somebody gives you the thank you wave,
It's fine.
I'm okay with it?
It's fine.
Absolutely.
If they just made the world's biggest mistake or whatever, that's fine. It's okay with me.
You waved off.
Yeah,
It's an acknowledgement of the mistake.
You know what? It's a very similar thing. It's like when you're like at a crosswalk or something, and then there's like the old man shuffle. When you'd like to pretend run.
You gotta give it to them. You have to.
You're like, okay, buddy.
If you know what, if you don't give the fake run, doesn't matter if it's the same speed. If I see somebody that doesn't give the fake run, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, I'm sitting here wasting my time. That's very valuable. I'm gonna go speed up to the next red light and wait.
Yep.
You could at least fake like you're and just give me the, it's all about social things, right? It's that in my neighborhood. People don't wave in my neighborhood.
Really?
What they used to. You drive by.
Do you wave?
Absolutely. And it's come to a point that Avery knows where, like, she's sitting in the car with me where I'm just, and they won't look. And she's like, why? Stop it.
To me, that's a dead giveaway of like people who are in your neighborhood or from your neighborhood or people who aren't, as if they don't wave.
Well, I think over the years, it's shifted because everybody used to. In my neighborhood.
Our neighborhood is actually a cut through from Western Avenue to not Western Avenue, 146 to Old State Road. And so people who want to miss a stoplight by Mike's Diner there will cut through my neighborhood. And they'll often throw the wave up in an acknowledgement that they are going way past the speed limit. And they're like, hey, how are you? Thinking I'll forget about that. Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, slow down.
Yeah, that's a little bit different because you got a neighborhood with kids running around.
Sure, absolutely.
It's a little dangerous.
I'm a big slow guy in the neighborhood, too.
Absolutely. I respect my neighborhood.
I slow down. I go real slow. People ride my butt, and I'm like, speed limit's 25. I'm going 20. There's kids. There's dogs. There's a whole host of things that could go wrong here. I'm not in that much of a hurry to get a quarter mile. It's not worth it for me.
Oh.
Okay. Well, then, Marco, did you already answer what your pet peeve would be in somewhere in there, or?
I'm a pretty easygoing guy, John. Not a lot bothers me.
This
I
is
guess
true. For
really
the record.
the lack of the thank you wave, I guess, is a big pet peeve of mine. But
Yeah.
I know Mark's biggest pet peeve.
what is it?
Yeah, I'm here.
It has to be when you call gym class.
No, it doesn't bother me that much. It used to years ago, but
Like a James class?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jim.
That used to be his shtick. Is every time he'd be like, "Who's Jim? I don't have a gym in my class." Mark, it's gym class.
That was never my shtick. I
It
never
was.
said
You did that all the time.
No, I think I said something along the lines of like, the gym is my house, phys ed is my job.
No, that's lame, dude.
That's what I never went off on a
You did
tirade.
I remember the gym thing because I quote it all the time. Every golfing video, we bring up gym, and I'll say, "I don't coach a gym." It's that.
I always like to picture Marco wearing those classic 1970s gym coach shorts that were super high with like the pull-up socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no better. Like Jordan over there. Not him. Before him, I guess.
No, what I'm wearing right about now is what I wear to work every day.
Good gig.
Yep.
This is actually what I wear to work. So there you go.
There you go.
Not
Even better.
sweatpants, but you know,
Yeah.
I usually go naked to work, honestly.
we've gotten a couple emails about it through HR.
Hey, I'm in the truck. It's personal. That's private property. As
Nobody
far as
knows.
I'm concerned.
Well, only the big rigs can tell.
And honestly, I think they're dying for the the site. So
Yeah.
Just wash the seats down after you're done with the truck.
that's right. I do it for the
Have
truckers
an
on the
extra
road.
wipe.
That's it. On hot days, yeah, it's the
It's
cloth.
Slipping
sticky.
and sliding everywhere.
Those cloth
That
seats
faux
are
leather.
really
You
absorbent.
stick right to it.
It's like Enchanted Forest. And
Yeah, it's,
Come on, baby, we're gonna slide.
dude. Rip water slide world.
Water slide world, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
You throw out Enchanted Forest. Throw out water slide
Yeah,
world.
birds of a feather. Same thing.
Weren't they the same thing?
No,
No. They're the same thing in the sense that they're water parks.
were.
In the Lake George area?
I can't remember where Enchanted Forest even is.
I don't.
I
remember
always
either.
thought the theme song was Enchanted Forest, Water Safari.
Where the fun
Where
never
the fun
stops.
never stops.
Yeah, but water slide
Water
world.
slide world is totally different.
different.
No,
Yeah.
see,
Different jingle.
I even said it, and I still
Yeah.
thought it was the same thing. Just saying both of
No,
those.
totally
The number
different
one in
things.
family fun.
And then you have the
Wild,
guy-
you bet.
Yeah, it was a good one. They raised that whole area, and they put up. I don't know, what did they raise?
did they build anything there?
No, what did they?
just-
What did they tear down?
They took all the slides down and everything.
Toontown. What else was up there? Tinseltown.
Storybook land, but
Yeah.
that was Great Escape.
No, it was like another place up there. That was very
Storytown.
similar. Storytown, I think.
But that was Great Escape.
That was
Was
Great
it?
Escape.
This was little
Yep.
houses.
Yep.
That's definitely still there because we went.
Yes, it is still there.
And they haven't repaired them since we were kids.
Or painted them.
Or painted them.
It is still 1960s. Just
Last time I was there, they had a fresh roof of caterpillars falling from the trees.
nice.
I used to love going in those as a kid, and then we Luna, my niece, happy birthday,
Ish.
premature-ish. We went there with Lowen, and Lowen went in a couple and could not care less.
I think in today's.
It's too young to figure it out, though.
Yeah.
I
You know,
suppose. I suppose.
when you're 5, 6 years old, this is a house my size. When you're 3, it's just another place to hang out.
Okay. I mean, that's a good point.
It's also how it didn't look that weird, like back then. I think
Great Escape always looks weird.
Your frame of reference as to what looks weird and what's gross and what's unkempt is you don't have that perspective as a little kid.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. Or like what looks funky. You're like, oh wow, those guys have weird faces now.
There's some funk here.
Heavy in the funk, actually.
I just have the Water Slide World jingle in my head now.
And you will
For the rest.
Yep. You'll be singing it in the shower tomorrow.
Water, you bet. I really, it's any old other jingles you think that?
Oh, man.
Well, while Marco's thinking of one, I wonder if, because that is now closed, if you still copyright for that song, because maybe we could repurpose that jingle into like the podcast somehow. Change the words, obviously.
Well, I think you can parody anything, right? And that's how
true.
Weird Al gets around it. You can do a parody, but I think just straight up using it. I don't know if the business goes out. I mean, somebody would still have to.
Well,
own
somebody
the
wrote that
copyright,
song.
right? They'd have to own the IP to it.
There was no AI at that point in time.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll look into it. Maybe we'll buy the rights out to Water Slide World.
If this video gets 1 million views
If this video gets 8 people that watch it,
all the way through, we will buy the Jingo to Waterside Road.
Not even all the way through. Just if 8 people see this thumbnail, you're in.
I think 8 people who clicked on the thumbnail are still trying to figure out what they're actually watching right
I'm going to have to say 8 people that aren't in the group of 8 of us who would watch it regardless. It has to. We got to get up to 16 views now. So you got to count. We're going to watch this once or twice each, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's also something weird about like hearing your voice. It's a weird thing.
Hate it.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you two have perfect voices for this. I cannot hear my voice through this microphone.
Great.
On the playback, all I could think about is, man, this is gonna.
Your voice is like molasses. It is super soothing to the ears, you know.
All right, terrific.
And
I'm a fan of it. I think you got a nice voice.
That's very kind. My students do too.
Your students
in
have
your
nice voices?
in gym class,
My physical education students.
pet peeve number 2.
We'll talk about this later, John.
What about you, John?
What my pet peeve?
Yeah.
Marc and Brenden.
It would have to be 100% if you're trying to get a thought out when you're speaking, and like you're working through some of the details as you're saying it out loud, or somebody keeps interrupting you or giving you like a tangential question which has nothing to do with the subject that you're trying to articulate.
See, I find myself in that position all the time. You are constantly searching for your thoughts, and I'm always trying to finish your sentence because I can't keep waiting for you to finish it. You got to get your stuff together, man.
I get it.
I
don't have an inner monologue, so it's just.
So with that pet peeve right there, I just realized that I annoy you more than anybody else in this room, clearly.
And that's where I was going to transition.
Let's get down to the meat and potatoes here. Why is Mark just a piece of garbage? Yeah, I don't know. It's I have a buddy at work that will try to finish my sentence as I'm saying it.
Does he do it in a way to show professional competency? Like he wants to let you know that he knows.
No, yeah,
What's
going on? Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's like how he'll do it every time, where it'll just be the same. And I'm like, okay, there's a point where we're 18 sentences in a row. You don't have to say what I'm saying.
You don't have to.
It's he just every time, and I don't know what it is. It's I noticed it, and I said it to somebody else, and they were like, "I don't think he does that." And then he saw us having a conversation, like, "Oh my god,
it's got to be something that most people are guilty of at one point or another." You know?
Yeah, I think they're trying to follow your sentence anyway. You know,
right?
They kind of see the natural ending to it, so I don't know. Just laugh. It makes me laugh sometimes. I'm trying to tell a joke or a punchline, and he's saying it with me.
Yeah. Okay. Just step aside. Let me finish, and then you can jump in.
Sorry, this is my joke. Don't hijack.
Yeah.
Come on, it's ridiculous.
So yeah, I probably got a dozen other pet peeves too that I'm just having a hard time thinking about, but that was just one. Forefront.
Wasting water.
Oh yeah, big pet peeve. You know.
Not separating your recyclables.
Well, Troy is a single, whatever they call it,
Single stream.
single stream. So,
See, I just finished your sentence there.
but I appreciated that there
Okay.
because I was sort of like, what's that thing?
There's something they recycle, but
Yeah.
not the same as others.
Oh, people who throw the cigarette butts out of the window.
Oh yeah, that
Hate
drives
that.
me up the
Hate
flip.
that.
Yeah.
And you see them driving, and you see it like hit the asphalt and just like sparks.
And you know it's coming too.
Yeah.
When they're driving by, because 90% of smokers will do that.
On that same thought, on a beautiful sunny or spring day, when you're driving down and you finally get to open the window because it's just that temperature is just right,
smell hits
and you're driving behind somebody with their cigarette out the window.
Yeah.
That smoke sucks right into your window.
Yep,
It's like poison.
it's bad.
And now that weeds become legal in New York,
And you just smell skunks everywhere now.
oh my god, yeah,
That's well, as somebody who's never minded the smell, that doesn't bother me near the same.
it doesn't bother me. I'm just baffled.
That people are just standing there.
Or we're driving 75 miles down the highway, 75 miles an hour down the highway. They go blowing by me, and then for the next 8 minutes, that's all I smell. I'm like, Jesus, it's still illegal. You can't drive.
You should
and
not be.
smell.
You should not be operating a vehicle.
No, it's
on
not
this.
even the
still a
driving.
DUI.
It's
It's still a
walking by
DUI.
somebody in a public place.
Oh yeah.
You walk by them in the mall or something.
But
like that.
if they're walking, I don't care. If they're driving, I got a problem.
Yeah, it's.
You know.
It's I mean,
Have
that's
some
a-
self dignity though.
It's a
Some
DUI now.
respect.
But
for yourself.
Share it.
Stop smelling like a skunk.
And pass it to your left. Let me get in on that.
Ow.
give me a toke, please.
That's a pet peeve of mine. It's not passing it to your left.
When you're out in public and people don't give you the marijuana that they have, please. I find it weird that people still smoke when like vapes are more of a thing.
Well, maybe they do, and you're not aware of it because I don't know that it's aromatic in the same way.
Well, I know I know a lot of people vape. I find it weird that there are still smokers. Like when, you're paying $10 a pack up here or more.
Just speaking from personal experience, smoking you can just take one quick hit, put it out, and now you're done. Whereas if some vaporizers, you got to get it to a temperature, and you're singeing it anyway, and then you almost got to use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I was going with that.
I see a lot of vapors anyway. They really do hit it. I guess the downside is they will literally vape 18 hours a day straight, where it's just always in their hand and just,
That can't be good for you. The temperature, I would think that it's got to.
It's allegedly just water vapor or something, right?
I have zero interest in this conversation.
Marco's glazed over. Maybe we should.
Marco glazed
should
over.
should I pick another question off the sheet, or do you guys want to just see where?
Go ahead. Get
No, let's talk.
Okay, Brenden.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna same order as before. Where is your favorite place to cry?
That's a tough one. Favorite place? There's no good place, really. I don't know. I find myself more now that I'm getting older. I'll just watch a movie. And then all of a sudden something, they say something or they do something. And I'm like, oh Jesus.
It's like a laugh cry, or
no, it's very heartfelt, whatever it is, Armageddon with Bruce Willis.
he pushes him back.
When he pushes him back, now, as a kid, I'd be like, oh, Bruce Willis is dead, I guess. And now it's like, oh, my Jesus.
What a sacrifice.
Yeah. That just look. Sometimes it's not even anything good. It's
I just love that was the example.
I saw that movie once and probably won't ever watch it again.
Well, you don't have to because we just
figured out what the end was.
Just gave it away. No spoilers. Sorry.
Sorry, spoiler alert, in case you have not seen it.
1996 is Armageddon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where's your favorite place to cry, John?
Me? Like Brenden, sometimes it'll come on you without expecting. So maybe I'll couch that, and I don't have a favorite place per se, but I find myself now that I'm a dad. Case in point, the trailer for the new Superman movie came out, and I watched it, and it was awesome. And Lowen wanted to watch it again. I realized they were sitting there, and I put them on my lap, and then we started watching it, and they use John Williams' classic theme that they had used back in the 80s, which was a song that still raises goosebumps on my arms to this day. And when that kicked in, when Superman rushed in the screen and he got between this little girl and this explosion, the music really hit like a crescendo. I started crying. Mm-hmm. So I find myself doing that quite a bit. Tears of joy.
And the fact that kind of Lowen's in that, right? Lowen's into Superman pretty hard now.
Yes.
So that's kind of another way to relive it too, right?
Yeah,
a big childhood love of yours is
true.
Passed on.
It's true. I think I might have even said this in my hot one, so link below. I don't know if it's out yet at the time this comes out. That when that's going on, when Lowen's playing with Superman, it's sort of like my inner child and my current child are coexisting, which is tears.
That'll make you heartful.
There you go.
Overflowing. Overwhelming.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you, Marco? You got a favorite place to cry?
In the arms of my cousin Brenden.
See, we're being serious, and Marc's got to come and just.
I gotta mess it up.
Yeah, we'll get through there. You just have some breakthroughs.
I do have to jump through some
here,
walls.
yeah.
I can't imagine a better cuddler than Brenden, to be honest with you.
He's soft.
That's a beast joke right there.
Warm.
No. It will hit me a lot of times when I'm driving in the car and I hear a song. I get a good song and I'm listening to the chorus or listening to the crescendo of the music, and that's when it'll hit me. And I won't necessarily go waterworks, but I'll wipe a couple tears off the side.
I love the power of music like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last song that you can remember that happening?
Father and Son, Cat Stevens.
I was going to say Natalie Imbruglia. Guess maybe not. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it happening?
Oh,
Is this our first podcast here?
yeah, no,
He splashed seltzer
put
on all of his face.
It went and squirted on my eye. Jesus Christ. Never had that happen before.
No, we were in Maine a couple years ago. It was during the pandemic, and we took some road trips up to Maine to my parents' place. They have a place up in Old Orchard Beach, and we were down by the Royal Anchor, which is a hotel there. And this particular hotel is an outdoor deck patio, and they always have live music on like Thursdays and Fridays.
Yep.
And so we were walking up through and hanging out in the parking lot, and I was holding Luke, and they started playing Danny's song by Loggins and Messina. So I'm singing along, I'm dancing, I got Luke in my arms, and the lead singer of the band kind of stopped, looked over, and goes, "Just want to point out that guy dancing with his son right now," right in the middle of the song, like right before they were going right into the chorus. And I was like, that hit me. And that song instantly became one of my all-time favorites. It's always been a favorite.
How old was Luke at the time?
Luke was about 4 or 5. So it was like that perfect time.
Yeah.
And that got me.
You didn't get like all self-conscious? Did you keep
Oh, no,
dancing?
no. Music doesn't. If music is on, I'm feeling perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And nothing bothers me there.
Well, you know how I have danced in my life. I do like dancing, but it's like the mood has to strike. And I could find, I can see once everybody's attention was on me, that all of a sudden I wouldn't feel like dancing anymore. I would be super self-conscious about it. I wouldn't feel as free.
And a prime example, actually, I think it was Dan and Kate's wedding. Thriller came on, and your mom wanted to dance with you, and you got your big, your old Michael Jackson grooves going, and you just were not feeling it. The answer was no. I was like, go dance with your mom, go dance. And then suddenly, I can't remember what song it is. I actually have a video of it, but it was a really obscure song. And it was like, I'm going to throw it out there, like YMCA or something like that.
It probably wasn't YMCA.
You stood up and you were dancing. And in the video, you can hear me saying, he's not going to dance to Thriller, but he's going to dance to this? What an asshole.
I remember that clip. I don't remember the song. I am willing to bet, though, that it was a Talking Heads song.
No, it was not. Absolutely not.
Really?
Yes, because it was a song I recognized. I don't know a lot about the Talking Heads.
Well, the deal with Michael Jackson moves is they are very specific, right?
Yeah, but you had those moves down when you were 10. You know what?
I don't know.
You thought you did, and that's all that mattered.
I no longer think I do.
We have.
Well, of course not, because you're 46 years old, and
Yeah, I am.
But when you were 10,
I can still grab
You
my
had them
crotch,
down.
but I can't do like the kicks.
no, it
splits
was
or
the kicks and the spins
the
and
spins.
the look.
the
You want to do it now?
the headphones go flying. Yeah.
It was pull a neck muscle.
Kate and Dan's wedding was fun.
That was spectacular.
Had a great time at that one.
The one wedding I did really miss was yours. Thanks for the invite, by the way.
You're welcome.
I was happy to be one of the few that were in attendance for that.
It was a nice little ceremony. I didn't want it to be big, just like just like Laura's. I didn't want a lot of people there.
All right.
It was Mark. It was a Tuesday night.
I would have been there.
I know you would have, but I remember like everybody was going to my dad about it. Like, what the hell? Why didn't he tell us? I was like, it's fucking Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Jesus
Wait, did
Christ.
they not know that that's what we were going for?
No, I don't think so. I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, well,
except for
I knew on the ride over that why we were going.
Yeah,
We were surprised,
of course.
I found out afterwards.
Yeah, most people did.
Yep.
But that was fun.
It was a fun wedding. Yep. It seems like most of the weddings that we've had in our family have been memorable in their own way. Like I can.
Memorable's an understatement.
Yeah, they're bits and pieces, really. But they were all fun. So, but testament to the family, right?
Absolutely.
Just the good times. The
Absolutely.
good times follow. Yeah.
Looking forward to Chris's in a couple months.
I got the invite, and I really want to go. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Yeah.
I have not bought
It's
flights
hard.
yet.
No?
No, dude, and I'm gonna be. Well, we're going to Florida, so that's a big hole.
I am advanced planner, as you know.
Marc is 2 years out. Just
You know, that's,
I will
get
buy the
deals.
plane ticket the second that they are released.
yeah, I get texts from Marc all the time, like, "Hey, these tickets just opened up." And I'm like, "Marc, that's like 8 months away, man. I can't go that far."
You know what's a big pet peeve of Marco's is wait until the last minute.
Oh, that's an understatement too. I cannot wait to the last minute.
Yeah, no procrastination in you whatsoever.
No, when I was a kid, absolutely. I remember when I was in 10th grade, I had a term paper due right before we left for April break. And that Thursday before it was due the following Friday, we got an extension to the Monday after break. This is terrific.
So you got to work on it over break.
Yeah, and we were going down to Florida. So it was a Sunday night. We flew home and we landed at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We had dinner, relaxed a little bit, and I laid down to go to sleep and realized I have this term paper due. It was on the Pinkertons.
Oh,
I had taken out.
I hate those cocksuckers.
I had taken out a whole bunch of books.
That was Al Swearingen. Rest in
What's
peace.
that from?
Deadwood.
The Pinkertons.
Yes,
There you go.
yes,
Yeah.
cocksuckers.
Me and my dad just talked about that show.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No, don't apologize. I didn't know what that was from. I was like, wow, John really doesn't like the Pinkertons.
Cocksuckers.
Yeah.
we just brought up that show where he said something. I was like, yeah, they love saying the word cocksucker in that show.
Yeah.
And my mom started watching it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you're watching this show, Mom? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, they have the worst language. I'm like, that's all he says is motherfucking cocksucker.
Is that Ian McShane?
But they don't say it like they. If you were to just bombard Shakespeare with MFers and cocksuckers, that's what you'd get. It's like the dialogue is so fucking good in that show.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen it?
I've never seen it. I saw, I think, portion of the first episode, and no, and it wasn't what I got into. I also never really had HBO before, so
Yeah. Well,
would
if you
be-
have it now, for me,
check it out. I know that's
Give it-
one of your
give it a-
favorites.
it's there's nothing that even comes close, in my opinion, as far as like shows are concerned. It is just the apex of just characters and set pieces and dialogue and drama. Just it's so good.
The last one I was really into was Breaking Bad. Since that went off the air, I've not found a show that I've come close to substitution.
Yeah. Do you have a show that kind of hits the mark like that for you, or?
It's the Mark. I see what you did there.
Nice.
I-
MARC.
Yeah.
I,
Clark.
I rewatch a lot. Nice. I rewatch a lot of stuff. I do like Breaking Bad. I thought that was a great show.
Prison Break. You ever see Prison Break?
I have not.
Oh, that's a
I
good
like
one
a lot
too.
of the 90s.
That's a Fox.
Comedies.
Yeah.
Like which now Avery's kind of started like Malcolm in the Middle.
Frasier.
I never got into Frasier, like Seinfeld. I never watched it.
Mad About You.
No, not even that.
My Two Dads.
I did watch that.
Yeah.
Well, that was my life. Sorry, Dad. That's a joke my dad would absolutely make. Too. That's
I got the kids watching Boy Meets World right now.
the original, right?
The original.
Yep.
Yeah. It's spectacular. We watch an episode every couple of nights and before bedtime.
I know of it. I've never watched.
It was a Disney show, I think.
Yeah.
No, it was
was it one of the Savage-
TGIF. It was TGIF.
It was Fox Family, I believe.
No,
it
it definitely wasn't Fox Family,
It was the. I thought it was on Channel 35.
which was AMC. Or I'm sorry, it was Freeform.
It was Fox Family Channel.
Was it?
Yeah, Fox Family is like a kid.
What that was?
I feel like it was
Fred
TGIF.
Savage's brother, though, right?
Correct, Ben Savage.
Correct,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were big Wonder Years fans too growing up.
Yeah.
So that kind of fed into the Ben Savage Boy Meets World.
I bet
thing.
you the last episode of that would make me cry if I watch it now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I actually just watched a clip of it. Yeah, that was right up there with the Cat Stevens.
Yep.
So
It's a good show. I like that show. Wonder Years. I was a big Ben Savage. What about JTT? Home Improvement.
I loved Home Improvement. That was a great show too.
With the boy JTT?
With the it was
Pamela
more-
Anderson.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the original Tool Girl.
Yep. She
I don't
was.
care about that.
Wow.
We were on the Disney cruise my senior year of high school, and it was the year. it was going to come up eventually,
Of course.
but it was the year that Home Improvement had just wrapped up that spring. Literally, the finale was a week before, and Richard Karn, who was Al, was on the cruise, and he was part of our muster drill. So we were standing there with our life jackets on, and my mom goes, "I think that's Al Borland," and we're looking at him, and I'm like, "It looks just like him." I was, and sure enough, a couple days later, it popped up that yes, it was him, and he was on the ship. And
You kind of vaguely have the same. You look kind of like him.
He's got more Neil Offerman, Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
people say Offerman. I got Alan from what's that? The Hangover.
Oh, Galifianakis.
Yeah, I got Galifianakis.
I get Galifianakis weirdly enough too.
Yeah. One of my swimmers said to me, it was actually part of his award. He just straight up goes, "My parents think you look like Alan from The Hangover." I'm like, "Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, buddy."
When I was lived in Syracuse, we were, I forget what the name of the big park was there. We were at the playground.
Syracuse
I was
Park.
walking around. Part of my homework was to go and identify X amount of trees. Or
Is that when
whatever.
you fell in love with the dulcet pine?
Might have been before that.
Okay.
Coosa Dogwood.
Yeah. But anyway, one of the kids there said that I looked like Will from Will and Grace. So
Yeah.
I never saw it personally. I mean, the resemblance seemed to show.
Obviously, there's more Dan Aykroyd for me. Like Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd. Also Glenn.
I was Uncle Glenn.
Tell me about the Twinkie.
Glenn.
It's a pretty big Glenn
Yep.
to me.
Yeah.
Lots of Glenn.
People out there have zero reference to Glenn.
Well, I'm sure that Pascal could throw a picture up.
We will, and we're going to see
Yeah.
Glenn this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
All right, you got to
next
get
week, yeah.
you get a younger Glenn.
No.
No.
He looks just as great.
Oh, Glenn always looks terrific.
Yeah, he's aging pretty well.
Same foreheads, though, you guys.
Yeah. It's called a 5-head.
Yeah, it might even be encroaching on the 6 head now.
Oh, Jesus.
How's your 5-head? Shiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yay.
I had that kind of like the monk haircut cut in, just as a joke forever. I just shaved just the top, like the horseshoe. And then I had that job interview, so I had to I was really debating. I was like, I can't wear a hat to a job interview, so I guess I got to shave it because already, walking in there. Could you imagine just a professional job interview? Hey, thanks for meeting with me today.
He's
Mr.
wearing
Quackers.
a tuxedo.
It says here you're 34 years old.
Why do you look
why do you
60?
look like you're 75?
I do like that you got a haircut just as a joke and kept it.
I did that.
You
a lot.
committed to it for a while.
I
too.
did. I liked it. I thought it was funny, and you couldn't see it with the hat on.
Yeah.
So with a hat, it looked like normal, like just normal hair.
Yeah.
And then when you take it off, which I was pretty embarrassing, like at the Siena Saints games or Firebirds games, where they'd be like, "Remove your hats and stand."
I don't
For
think
the
I
anthem.
will.
And I stood and I'd be like,
You just take a knee.
so many
Yeah.
people behind me just take it off, and I'm like, oh man.
There was a time in college I bleached my hair platinum blonde,
Yeah.
and people thought it was a joke, and I was serious. I liked it.
Sugar Ray.
Our Alexakis Everclear.
Yes. He was like 45.
Yeah, that guy was awesome though. I love that band. It's good stuff. And then people thought I outgrew it, and then I did it again when I was 26.
Some things you never outgrow.
Well, I realized it was a mistake when people were like, "You got to hear the story about why you did that to your head." And I'm thinking, yeah, this wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
What do you mean why I did it? Because I liked it.
I started saying because I lost a bet because it was the only out I had.
Oh, Mark, come on, you gotta own it.
Yeah, I didn't own it. I let it go.
If you thought about that on your feet, that is actually a pretty good,
Yeah.
get out of that conversation kind of excuse.
Yeah.
I lost.
I don't really want to talk about it.
And really, that could be an excuse for anything. You know why I pulled you over tonight? You were speeding. I lost a bet, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But never admit why you get pulled over. I don't know, officer.
Let's just move that closer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I cutting out?
A little bit, yeah.
Is that better? Testing 1 2 1 2 testing.
It's
testing.
fine. It's just every once in a while it'll cut out. You too, Mark, if you could.
Well, you're cutting out as well, just so you know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think everybody does a little
Yeah.
bit.
There we go. I'll bring it out.
It's not just me.
There we go.
All right. Well, maybe I'll hop to the sheet here.
Yeah. Keep going. I'm going to look at one thing.
Yeah.
You guys can keep talking. I know this guy's not.
See, and I picked that little tiny cable off the ground, and I put it there because you said leave it.
You
You said leave it. I don't need
did.
that. And I said, yeah, I'll put it right here. And that's the first thing you picked up to
Well, what's going-
fix the GoPro.
that
Careful of
not
that
charging?
tripod.
Is
Though.
that not working?
It's not charging. So this is like a charging pad.
Do I got to solder another USB cord or?
Please do.
You could solder him a new tripod for that camera.
That's a terrible joke. You should feel bad for me.
I don't feel bad because that tripod is an embarrassment.
Oh,
It's a GoPro.
so what did I ask? 2 questions?
Yeah.
Okay, we are still recording, which is beautiful.
Okay.
And that was kind of all I'm doing here too, is because these, while plugged in, would turn off on me. Mm-hmm. They went into like this weird sleep mode, and I was not a fan of that. I can't see that. John, you look great over there, though.
I agree. I was
I don't
just
know- I don't know why
admiring
You look like
that.
NPR radio. Like you look phenomenal.
I don't know why I looked behind me when you said that. Okay. Brenden,
Yes, sir.
if you could have any question answered, what is it?
I was gonna really go with a joke there. It's
Go for a joke.
well. Who's my biological father? Please, but that's not real. Any question?
Any question.
Oh God, I have no idea how I'm going to answer this.
No, I don't either. Any question? Well, you go first and give me time to think. 'cause
No,
that's-
it's not how this works.
You don't have an answer ready, do you?
I really don't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think about the answer to these questions.
I thought I was going to be just asking.
Marco, what comes to mind? What do you feel? And
How do I get John to say yes to letting me have the coconut?
with the 3D glasses, or
That's not necessary. The coconut is solid memories for me. That's a great.
Marco, I would let you take the coconut.
Over his dead body, you little.
Actually shocked, and not because I wouldn't expect you to say yes. That going on the question earlier of where's your favorite place to cry? If I took that, I would actually shed a tear right now.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Well, you can't have
Absolutely.
That's funny.
No, it's
That was great.
it's one of those, and I don't know if we should take a picture because people who they don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
In our grandparents' home, there was hanging from the bookshelf a coconut that was crafted into like a pirate. And as kids, we always
And we'll show a picture of it.
we can show a picture. We found it to be the most fascinating thing. And then when our late grandmother Joyce passed, miss her, love you, Graham. We were cleaning out the house, and it's just one of the things that I grabbed because it's one of the things that I had an attachment to as a little kid. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why I should have to hold on to it forever, Marco. I've had it for 10 years now. You could take it for 10 years.
That would make my night, buddy.
You know.
Is that what we're doing? Like almost like a
Your microphone's out.
custody, like a custody thing.
I think that might have to be what it
Every 10
amounts
years.
to.
Yeah. Well, it's like just nobody has a monopoly on the good fond memories when it comes to our
Absolutely.
most important people in our lives. So,
How about TVs with wrapping paper on them?
where do they come from?
Nobody knows.
How did that show up to my house in the middle of the night?
Well, I actually know the answer to that.
There's
But,
actually going to be a video on that soon.
That's the question. Forget the coconut. I want to know the answer to that question.
well, it sounds like a cliffhanger for a Quack Pack episode.
For that video that we are going to definitely post.
Currently in the
soon.
process of editing
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that I have nothing to do with.
Allegedly, or does he?
Well, I guess in a way I would, but not in the way that Marco's thinking.
Or does he?
Or maybe I don't.
Or is it? We'll never know
So, Brenden, have you
Until the video's posted.
until the video's posted. No, maybe. Yeah. Turns out it was Grandma Quackenbush.
the apparition of Grandma?
Yeah, really just wanted
She's turned into quite the prankster.
a quick story about Grandma. She was never like a comedian, right? Like I never.
No.
But my brother came home. It was like my dad's 40th birthday, and we were having a big party at the house. And he went to Sue's, Andy's wife. Because she was a barber, barberess? I don't know.
Barbarous.
Stylist? A hairstylist.
She was a hairstylist.
Yeah.
Barbarian.
She had her own
She was a barbarian.
Barbarian.
Studio
That's where that comes from.
747,
Yeah.
right across from the airport.
So she,
Barbarista.
yeah, upstairs. I used to go to her all the time. But so Liam was there all day, and
She actually bleached my hair blonde. Yes, she did.
So she was doing
She was in
Liam's
on it.
hair, and it was my dad's birthday with a house full of people. And Liam comes back halfway through the party, and he opens up the door with just that fucking Liam smile on his face, like he knows, like, and he's got these fucking spider dreads coming off of his head.
Classic early 2000s look.
Yeah, and I mean, like, sublime. Like, it just, that's what he looked like. And he wore the drug rug at the time and all that stuff. But it was a big, like, everybody just record scratch. Just, like, there was, it's what happened when Liam walked through the door, and it was just crickets. And everybody kind of just slowly goes to my dad. And my dad's like, what the? Nobody told him. No, he had no idea. Sue knew, and I think my mom did, and that's it. And everybody's looking at Bob, and all of a sudden, Grandma Q's just like, "My hair looks like that when I get up in the morning." And instantly broke the tension, and it was just there could have been nothing better said than her just breaking the tension. You know,
I love it. Yeah, Graham, she definitely loved to laugh.
Yep.
You know, as was she like. Was she like a Bob or my dad or Dana? Probably not. Yeah.
Dana's lumped in with your dad and Bob?
Your mom loves to have a good time.
Oh, she loves to laugh.
Yeah.
And
she's hilarious.
Terms, do not piss
off Dana.
Do not.
I have never personally seen that side of Dana because she and I share this special bond that can never be broken. And yeah, it's true.
So we go on.
Well,
go ahead.
When we did our beef jerky video and you threw out the George Harrison, which is still one of the funniest, it just had me rolling.
It was.
And that's the stuff my mom will throw out there. Like, I remember when I was a kid, it was before cell phones or, apps or anything along those lines. And your father called and said, hey, go outside. You're going to look up and you'll be able to see the International Space Station, which always fascinates me. So now that we have cell phones and apps, I'm out there all the time with my Sky Guide app to find out what satellite or Starlink I'm looking at or what constellation is up there. And so nonetheless, we see the space station kind of dancing across the sky. And my mom throws out the, hey, they're waving.
Oh, classic.
That had me rolling, but it's right up there with like the Harrison joke. Those simple little things get me going every time.
The absurd.
Simple. They're simple.
But absurd. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, she's awesome.
We've seen Dana pissed off, and I think it's because we used to go on vacations all the time, like to Maine. So that Anchor Hotel,
Royal Anchor.
Yeah,
you guys. Well, you did. I never did. I was in college when you were going up there.
That's why. Yeah. But who does Dana have to deal with on a trip with us to Maine? But my father. And my father, first of all, is very particular about his food, and not in a good way. He just likes.
He likes what he likes.
And so she'd have to deal with him all the time. And he would just rag on her. Because she'd be, we're going to the beach, make sandwiches. And after like day 2.5, Bob wants hot dogs, Bob wants burgers. So that's when Bob would like get all the kids, right? And just be like, Dana, no sandwich, eat burger. And then that would just stick for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
To where that's all, we'd just be like, Aunt Dana, no sandwich, eat burger. And and that's when she's like, Bobby, stop it. We make these sandwiches, you're going to eat them.
It was a very similar trip. We were actually in the Friendship Motor Inn. It was with your family, John, and your family. And there's two stories that come from that trip. Well, there's two stories from that trip. And one of them was most of the rooms were adjoining. And the adults got into a water gun fight with the Super Soakers. Yep. And the kids, we had no idea what was going on. We were getting pushed out of the way for them diving over beds, shooting each other with the Super Soakers. And then the other one was my father, Bobby, and Ricky had gone downtown. And my father left Bob and Rick downtown, drove back to the hotel. Yep. So Bob and Rick kind of had to walk the whole 1.5 miles back.
Oh. I think it was the other way around.
Oh, it wasn't.
I think they got Ricky because and the way I remember the story is they were knocking on Ricky's door. Ricky, you want to come out?
Oh, is that what it was? I thought they were knocking on my father's door.
No, it was. They were being an ass to Ricky, as they will be.
I don't know who would ever do that to my father.
I think they like soaked him on the way to the bar or something.
Okay.
He got pissed.
And he left.
So he was like, okay, I have the car. And Ricky drove home to the thing and left him there.
Way to stick up for yourself,
All right,
Dad.
he should have. And they walked back to that hotel. And they went outside his door and were tapping on that door. Ricky, you want to come out and play?
I'm going to be honest with you. I wish we could cut to my dad telling that story because he's got a flair for telling stories. And
we're going to have to bring him in for
absolutely.
it. I just Bob. And of course, it's Bob's always in the middle of it.
well, he's a button pusher. It's
That's an understatement too.
yeah. And that comes with it some drama in the moment, but it always makes for a funny story when you're telling it. It's not funny now, but it'll be funny in 10 years.
But you know what? He could, despite, and Fran and everybody else too, despite like dishing it out, could take it. They got him soaked. Fair enough. You left us. That's totally fair play to what you did. Good job, Ricky.
But what's awesome about that is that ability to laugh at yourself and to not take yourself too seriously has been passed down to us. Yeah. And we
Sometimes.
we can
Like,
bust on it, and we never.
When you go out to a nice dinner with your cousin and your uncles, and your cousin spills beer on you.
Well, I wasn't there for that. I would have stuck up for you, Marco. Nobody does that to.
It was not intentional. I
No,
felt
of course
horrible.
not. See his face drop.
I had
He got a new pair of shorts out of the deal.
now here's the bullshit.
We both
that
got
I've
a new
been
pair of
doing.
shorts.
Now here's the thing, right? Is right. I'm sitting there, and I think I had like a beer.
Oh, you were not drunk.
And I
It was not.
I
You were
was
just hand talking.
gesticulating, and they brought me like that. They brought me a brand new out of a big Pilsner glass. So very thin, very tall. So
And the
not
table.
not very stable.
Yeah.
And it was small.
And
like,
the table was
maybe this
cut in half with four of us around it. It was not.
So I'm gesticulating and doing my thing, and I just tip it, and it's in slow mo.
And it's
And
full.
it goes all over his lap, and it's a very nice restaurant. It's the La Cellier. What is it?
Yes. Let's tell you.
in
Yes.
Canada, in
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
And
In
it
Epcot.
goes, we're 8 minutes in.
Oh yeah. That night, that leading up to that night, I had spent the day on my weather app making sure it wasn't going to rain so that I could wear my sneakers and socks into the park. Because nothing, that's another pet peeve actually, is wet sneakers and socks. So I wanted my sneakers dry. Made 8 minutes through dinner and I got a beer all over them.
So good. And it couldn't have perfectly went into his lap. And there was, so now my face is like, I'm so sorry, Mark.
Oh,
And
you went flush white.
Fran is waiting to see how this is going to go because Fran's like, oh, Jesus. And
Was he waiting for permission to laugh?
No, Fran was like, I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah.
There was a lady behind Mark that was
Hammered.
Anyway.
Epcot hammered. Drank around the world.
And she had like a glass with like lighted light cubes in it. And she's cackling.
She's on the floor.
And I dump it in Mark's lap and he's like, really? Are you kidding me? And I'm like, Mark, I'm so sorry. And then this lady.
So I'm standing up. The waitress brings over the little cocktail napkins. They're shredding apart on me, trying to it's all over the table, all over me. And she was cackling up a storm.
That is pretty funny.
So in that moment, Bob is laughing, Fran is laughing. You're not laughing yet.
No.
Until I let the lady have it. Like, really, lady? Keep laughing at me. Enjoy your lighted ice cubes. You cut out. Are we cutting
you
out?
get pretty loud.
Oh, okay.
I'm
My
sorry.
bad.
It's okay.
No, that's fine. I turned you up. Yeah, it was, really? Keep laughing, lady.
Oh.
And that broke the tension for me that I was like, okay, Mark's taking it. I hope I took it as a joke. And I could not profusely stop apologizing. And at the
Well, he
end
didn't do it on purpose.
No,
Of course
but
not.
still,
Of course
so at the end of dinner, he's now going to buy shorts. And in retrospect, at the end, he bought the goofy shorts just because it was the cheapest thing they had. And then I was like, those are the coolest shorts I've ever seen. So
Do they have prints of Goofy on it, or are they the red shirts with the big,
No.
big buttons?
They're running shorts and they have a
they're
print of
tan
Goofy
with
on
one
like
thing of
leg.
Goofy, and they just look really good. I wear them all the time. I think golf.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, Mark, those are actually really nice shorts.
Yeah, they actually are pretty cool. They
So
were on
he
sale.
found them like on sale, like on Disney Shop. They were getting rid of it, so he bought me a pair. And at that whole time, I'm like, wait a minute, I should be buying you a pair of shorts. Why did I get a free pair of shorts out of this?
I would have been on the ground. That'd have been just.
It was
funny.
That's the kind
of
of thing.
It was funny. It was one of those things. Like I was mad,
Yeah.
but realized that it was an accident, and
God.
it turned into one of the funniest stories. To hear Bobby tell it.
Oh my God, I felt so bad. And then that lady just kept going,
She didn't stop.
It took like the ire of Marc, which was funny, and it just made it funny to me. And I thought Marc was joking, and he probably was pretty pissed at her because she was quite inebriated.
I got to say, though, there's few things that are more uncomfortable than wet underwear. Comment below if you can think of anything that's more uncomfortable than wet underpants. But that's like top.
Wet shoes and socks.
Which, and then he had to eat a whole dinner with it.
And I smelled like beer.
I mean, that is an improvement.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
And then we went on that ride after, that Guardians ride.
Oh, that's a great ride.
And I swear to God, they sped that thing up at night. Maybe it's because I had like...
Or we sat in a different part of the train I was thinking about. If you're sitting towards the back, I guess you feel a little bit more G's that way. That's
Maybe.
what they say.
Yeah, we sat in the back in the first time, but all the way in the back.
Okay.
Which is... We're not going to ruin that.
Yeah.
Twist. But yeah, that was...
I don't know where we got to that because I think the original question was if you could have any question answered, what would it be? So I guess we don't have to answer
Why don't we piss off Dana?
that. What would it have the question be? What would it take to get Dana mad at me?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, right. Maybe if I had left dozen used Christmas trees on her front lawn, possibly, or
Oh my God, that's
a mystery.
They got
to this day.
so pissed.
They thought it was the neighbors.
She was pissed when she found out it was me.
She thought it was the neighbors.
Yeah, I guess I started like a neighbor feud.
Yeah, but we didn't find out it was you for years. I feel
like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it was
I
years.
just sat on it.
legendary,
Yeah.
legendary.
I brought him, and I had the picture somewhere, but I was just leaving my buddy Steve's house, who's right down the road. And like I just see, it was just after Christmas, so you see everybody's Christmas tree out, and I was like, it'd be really funny. I just take all these Christmas trees. So I started putting them in the back, and then like I pulled it in the neighborhood and put them out there, and then I started driving around the neighborhood, and I was like, everybody's got the tree out. So I just started. I'm throwing them, and I'm just stacking them all in front, and I like take a picture of proof, and then I just drive away, and I was like, I was waiting for Dana or Fran or Marc or anybody to either post something on Facebook or put a text out about it. No, this was Facebook.
Was it?
But nobody said anything about it. So I just didn't say anything about it.
I got to be honest with you. That is one of my all-time favorite pranks that I've ever heard anybody do.
Well, everyone thought it was Frank Pezzi.
Yeah. And I said nothing because I was waiting, and then it was, the point of coming out about the joke was just too long. So I was like, all right, well, now I have to I'll just not say anything now. It's just been too long. And then finally, after 4 years, I don't know what it was. Dana said something to me at the Christmas party, and I was like, you mean like when you have Christmas trees put on your front? Oh. And she was like, yeah, our neighbor did do that. And I was like, was it your neighbor, Dana? And she was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, she was laughing. That was funny.
There was a minute where she was
funny.
like, she was not excited about what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was one of the funnier ones I think that
Well,
I've done.
then you have the my parents lost their wedding album, and it was gone for years. I'm talking more than a decade, and it was just gone. And I was trying everything. I even went online. I was looking like lostweddingalbums.com type of deal. Just say, is it found anywhere?
Is that a website?
It was something along those lines, and. Finding lost wedding albums and like garage sales and stuff. I was trying to find the photographer of the wedding, see if there was any record of the pictures taken. And finally, I sent an email out to all of the aunts and uncles, and I said, hey, everyone, for my parents' anniversary this year, I want to put together an album of their wedding. So if any of you have any pictures, they got married back in the 70s, so it wasn't like people were carrying cameras around and snapping pictures, but I was taking a shot in the dark. So my Aunt Helen brings me a picture of the wedding party that my parents had gifted out to everybody after the wedding. And that was the only picture I had. And I was like, okay, I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to give this to my parents. And I'm not kidding. Probably, A couple of days later, Aunt Kimmy calls me and she says, Marco, I was in the basement and I'm going through all of my boxes trying to find pictures for you. And I found the wedding album. And I said,
My mom had it the whole time.
the whole time. So I said to her, I go, Kimmy, how did you get that out? And she, what they had figured out, it was they were doing a present for Grandma and Grandpa, and they pulled the picture of Grandma and Grandpa out of the album, gave it to an artist who did
I remember that picture. Yep.
And then gave it back to Kimmy. Well, Kimmy gave the picture back to my parents. So my parents still have that picture, but they don't have the album. And everyone just kind of forgot that my parents had given them the entire album, pick a picture, and go to an artist. Wow. So Kimmy had put the album in a box. So she was devastated. Your poor mom was devastated. Your mom is going to be so mad at me. Go, Kimmy, I promise you, she is going to be relieved and excited. Yeah. And this is all good stuff. So for their anniversary, I gave them the album. They're opening it up. They thought that I had a picture of me going like this, frames or something like that. And they opened it up and they were both dumbfounded by it. Dumbfounded.
Well, they probably came to terms with never seeing it again.
And that's pretty much where they were with it.
And I got to say, I am not really surprised at all that it was somehow in my mom's basement, where it seems like
there's lots of stuff down there.
It's unreal.
Arcade games that shock you.
It's a treasure. Yeah.
Those have been destroyed.
You got to lay on the carpet. If you stand on the carpet, you don't get shocked.
Or you have to put the coin in with needle nose pliers with the rubber handle.
Let's just say things get piled and absorbed in there, and then you get disappeared to time.
Yeah.
You know? So that's so awesome that you guys get that.
Oh, they were able to find it. That was the end of a good story. That's for sure. So
that's it.
But
awesome.
Leading into that story was, feeling the don't piss off Dana. Kimmy was terrified. I kept saying to her, Kimmy, it's okay.
My mom solved the mystery. So, Mom, you're a hero.
You're a hero. You're a hero, Kimmy.
Where's the reward for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I heard there's some sort of monetary award for this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, John, before you do, it has been about an hour.
Before I do what? Ask another question?
Yeah.
So what are you saying? You want to wrap it up? Or...
Well, we unfortunately weren't able to get into that news story.
Trudeau, Trump thing.
We'll have to table it for next time.
Well, that'll be a next week.
So we're capped. Okay. Yep.
And we can always,
Well, that's unfortunate that we ran out of time. I know we really wanted to get to that. So
yeah.
So next week we'll bring the news. I don't know what it's going to be. I know Haley Williams is back in the news. Haley, not Williams. What's the girl? What's the Haktua girl?
Oh.
She's back in the news. She just released a new video about that. She was apologizing. So.
Yep.
We'll have to get back to you next week about it.
I'm kicking myself for not buying that meme coin when I had a chance.
Yeah.
You
could gamble your money away. You could just give it to somebody. Who
I just would rather give it to people and just,
Smart. But anyway, sorry, we don't have time, so we'll get to it next week. I'm Brenden.
Yes, he is.
You are Brenden. That's true. And you lead the Quack Pack.
I'm here with
John. Yep.
And also.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm Mark.
That is Mark. And
work on this.
And I'm John.
And this is the Quack Pod. I don't know I still have no idea what this is going to be called.
Comment below if you guys can think of a catchy name for this podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. All right.
I love you. Love you. Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching today's video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that little bell to get notified whenever we post a video.